Remember, Antigua and Barbuda is one of the top three places on the planet for the world's super yachts during the winter season. Um, you know, like I see finally the newspapers this evening, well, the online news portals, talking about Russian oligarchs having their boats have been spotted in Antigua, as if like they've just arrived here fleeing from Russia. Like I'm often so surprised by how I don't want to use the word clueless because that's a rude way to describe it, but how detached from tourism and how tourism works and the mechanics of tourism and what makes up our tourism the people of Antigua and Barbuda are. Like, how did they not know that Russian billionaires have boats here every winter? Many, many boats. I mean, like, how is this news to people? You know, like, yachting is one of the biggest income generators for Antiguans, and it's one of the best way to enrich poor people, the super yachting sector. And yet, you know, such a small segment of Antigua society understand super yachts, understand what they're doing here, understand charters, understand all that kind of stuff. So they're like, wow, there's Antigua, in Antigua those Russians are here. Like, yes, guys, there's lots of Russian money in Antigua every winter. And I mean, as soon as the invasion started, I started saying on my Facebook and even on a vlog here, like, if I was a captain on a Russian-owned vessel that's sitting in a French country, for example, in Saint Barts, or you know, even on the French side of Saint Martin. I mean, I doubt they're in Guadeloupe or in Martinique, but if I was there, or if I was in the Dutch port, the Dutch island, you know, Saint Martin, like, if I was a captain, I wouldn't even wait to hear what my boss said. Now I just pull up anchor and head out, come to Antigua, because Antigua is, you know, has got great facilities, marinas, etc. for super yachts, and as an independent nation, doesn't have to do what Europe or America says. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, maybe I'm just making a lot of assumptions, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have more than normal number of Russian vessels, and not just, you know, $200 million super yachts. I'm talking also like planes. I mean, you know, you hear the activists today, you know, yelling at Boris about Abramovich and you know, the double standards that some of the European nations have, not going after all the oligarchs' money and everything else. I mean, you know, Abramovich keeps his plane here at the end of the runway while he goes to St. Barts. I mean, you know, it's just unimaginable amounts of wealth in Antigua and at the moment. And I mean, there must be a lot of people in our society who normally work in offshore banking, normally work in citizen by investment, normally work in high-end real estate, who are just, or you know, yachting, private jets, all of that. I mean, like, who are thinking to themselves, what opportunities do we have right now? How can we capitalize on the, in quotation marks, misfortune of Russian billionaires? You know, like, for example, I listened to one of the Russian billionaires, I think one of the richest ones today, in an interview, and he's saying, listen, it's nothing to do with us. Why are you going after our money? It's nothing to do with us. Going after our money is not going to change politics in Russia. You know, so they're all crying about their money being sanctions being put down on their businesses and their money. So, I'm sure there's a great many opportunities for some very smart people here in our society, and I wouldn't be surprised if we yeah if we have some things going on that wouldn't normally happen as a result of this crisis. Like I said, definitely I wouldn't want to be keeping my $100 million yacht tied up in the Dutch island of Saint Martin, French island of Saint Martin, Saint Barth. Nah. So it's interesting to think about these things, and then of course, most of the wealthy Russians have had their financial wherewithal frozen, like wire transfers, MasterCard, Visa, etc., etc. I mean, ways that they would normally pay for example, dockage, fuel, water, salaries, all kinds of things. I mean, imagine being on a Russian vessel right now. Like, you thinking, how am I going to get paid? I'm sure we have Antiguan citizens working on Russian vessels right now as we speak.